Yo, yo, yo. What's up, gang? It's your boy Hardbody Hefe, and I'm back with another video. Matter of fact, I'm back with the first video. If you're watching this, it's the first ever video, bro, so give yourself a pat on the back. And if you want to, you can smash that like button or subscribe. But I'm not gonna get into all that. I'm gonna get into the video. Stay tuned. First off, it's a lot of us that's not gonna be familiar with what's going on, but that's inevitable. That's gonna happen. But one thing about it is we're gonna work through it, we're gonna talk through it, and we're gonna come down to some sort of how that go. But yeah, so first of all, Facebook is under fire right now, just off the simple fact that it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that going on. It's like a whistleblower, and she has a lot to say about Mark Zuckerberg and what Facebook is doing to the people and to the public. So, man, they're on CNN, so this is a primary source. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna see what they're saying. We're gonna come up with our own conclusions, and just go from there. So, if you want to watch the video, I'm gonna have the video down where you can see it right here, of course. But yeah, it's a CNN video. Facebook whistleblower makes damning allegations against Mark Zuckerberg during Senate hearing. Here we go.
Senator Cantwell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Moran.
Thank you for holding this hearing. And I think my colleagues have brought up a lot of important issues, and so I think I just want to continue on that vein. First of all, the Privacy Act that I introduced along with several of my colleagues actually does have FTC oversight of algorithm transparency. In some instances, I'd hope you take a look at that and tell us what other areas you think we should add to that level of transparency. But clearly that's the issue at hand here, I think, in your coming forward. So thank you again for your willingness to do that. The documentation that you say now exists is the level of transparency about what's going on that people haven't been able to see. And so your information that you say has gone up to the highest levels at Facebook is that they purposely knew that their algorithms were continuing to have misinformation and hate information, and that when presented with information about this terminology, downstream MSI, meaningful social information, knowing that it was this choice, you could continue this wrong-headed information, hate information about the Rohingya, or you could continue to get higher click-through rates. And I know you said you don't know about profits, but I'm pretty sure you know that on a page. Yeah. If you click through that next page, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more ad revenue than if you didn't click through. So you're saying that documents exist that at the highest level at Facebook, you had information discussing these two choices, and that people chose, even though they knew that it was misinformation and hurtful and maybe even causing people lives, they continued to choose profit.
We have submitted documents to Congress outlining Mark Zuckerberg was directly presented with a list of, quote, soft interventions. So a hard intervention is like taking a piece of content off Facebook, taking a user off Facebook. Soft interventions are about making slightly different choices to make the platform less viral, less twitchy. Mark was presented.
Now, most of us don't know what downstream MSI is. So let me look it up real quick. So, downstream MSI is a method to revamping algorithms, right? Downstream MSI, which made a post more likely to appear in a user's news feed if the algorithm calculated people were likely to share or comment on it as it passed down the chain of reshares. So, no matter if it was good or bad, as long as it was percentage wise efficient enough to get more shares, more likes, more interactions, no matter what the moral code or, you know what I'm saying, what behind it, what came behind it, the repercussions. That's what she's saying. They presented that to Mark Zuckerberg, and Mark Zuckerberg chose to go elsewhere, chose to go to other directions rather than doing what's best for the public and for his precious, precious platform. The platform that's supposed to be able to get us ahead, supposed to be able to change the world, supposed to be able to, you know, do so many different positive and beneficial things for the public, the culture, and society, is not doing that. And he's putting his pockets first. Same as Big Pharma did, same as tobacco doing, same as all other corporations, 500 corporations that forget about the small guy, you know. And a lot of times, the small guy get the glut, get the bullshit, and it's not fair. And the government should do things about this. The government should definitely go in and, you know, rectify what they need to rectify and investigate what they need to investigate. Whoever is the head or at the forefront of this, they need to accept those consequences head on. Straight up. And that's what she's saying. Ms. Haugen is saying that. And if I mispronounce your name, I am terribly sorry, Ms. Haugen. I am terribly sorry. But I am greatly appreciative. I hate that it took as long as it did for someone to come forth and say what the real is, because we all know that it's some bullshit going out here. And I'm hoping that this thing is focused. Let me just... Yeah. I'm hoping that it's focused. But we all know there's some bullshit going on out here. And if we don't do something about it, if we don't say anything about it, us as the public, they're not going to really be able to listen to us, because like she said, it's a lot of files that are being hidden, that are private, because Facebook, quote unquote, prides themselves on privacy, prides themselves on, you know. So if this privacy that they're pitching, then they telling that the feds and other authorities that are able to investigate these platforms that, hey, we can't give this out because our users, we've already, you know, advertised this one thing, so this would be, you know, contradicting. But it's not the case, bro. Google does it, Apple does it, and they're full of privacy, you know, measures that they have to keep intact when they're being investigated. So the fact that Facebook for so long have slipped through the cracks and been able to just manipulate people and, you know, use a mainstream to do so is very sad and very, very eye-opening to me. And I hope that it's eye-opening to the mass public, because it has to stop at some point. It has to stop. I'm gonna play this video.
How is this possible? Like, we've just read 100 pages on how downstream MSI expands hate speech, misinformation, violence inciting content, graphic violent content. Why wouldn't you get rid of this? And the best theory that we've come up with, and I want to emphasize this is just our interpretation on it, is people's bonuses are tied to MSI, right? Like, people stay or leave the company based on what they get paid. And like, if you hurt MSI, a bunch of people weren't going to get their bonuses.
So you're saying that this practice even still continues today? Like, we're still in this environment? I'm personally very frustrated by this, because we presented information to Facebook from one of my own constituents in 2018, so talking about MSI, this issue with the Rohingya, pleading with the company. We pleaded with the company, and they continued.
It embraces it. It goes after it, because it's going to be the one that targets the most interaction. It's going to be the one that brings in and magnifies the most interaction. You know what I'm saying? Attracts the most interaction is the word I'm trying to find. And that right there is asinine. That the fact that you can basically come to your boss, come to the table with ideas that are groundbreaking and refreshing, and, you know, can help the public and masses, and they ignore it. That's completely man, I have no words. Fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg, bro. Like, really, like, fuck you. Fuck your thong sandals. Like, for real, bro. I might have to blur that out, but damn. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Like, think about what that's doing to people who are actually working for Facebook and other branches of Facebook. Like, the fact that you put my money, my well-being, my paycheck, and my source of income solely attached to the bullshit so that I can't be a whistleblower, so that you will dangle my earnings over my head. It shows you who Mark Zuckerberg is and the people around him at Facebook. Really, it does. No morale, no empathy, no remorse. This is sad. This is sad, bro.
From one of my own constituents in 2018 talking about this issue with the Rohingya, pleading with the company. We pleaded with the company, and they continue to not address this issue. Now, you're pointing out that these same algorithms are being used, and they know darn well in Ethiopia
Think
that
about
it's
the
causing
kids,
and
bro.
inciting violence. And again, they are still today choosing profit over taking this information down. Is that correct?
When rioting began in the United States in the summer of last year, they turned off downstream MSI only for when they detected content was health content, which is probably COVID, and civic content. But Facebook's own algorithms are bad at finding this content. It's still in the raw form for 80, 90% of even that
I don't think she could have
sensitive
said that any clearer. Any clearer. Like, she rephrased the question, she paraphrased the question, and basically asked her straight up, be direct with me. Are you telling me that what you're telling me is still going on today, even though we know that in some countries that it's inciting riots and violence? Directly. Directly. And her answer will be yes, because Mark Zuckerberg is a piece of shit. Straight up. It's
Over
crazy.
taking this information down. Is that correct?
When rioting began in the United States in the summer of last year, they turned off downstream MSI only for when they detected content was health content, which is probably COVID, and civic content. But Facebook's own algorithms are bad at finding this content. It's still in the raw form for 80, 90% of even that sensitive content. In countries where they don't have integrity systems in the local language, and in the case of Ethiopia, there are 100 million people in Ethiopia in 6 languages. Facebook only supports 2 of those languages for integrity systems. This strategy of focusing on language-specific, content-specific systems, AI to save us, is doomed to fail.
I need to get to one of them. First of all, I'm sending a letter to Facebook today. They better not delete any information as it relates to the Rohingya or investigations about how they proceeded on this, particularly in light of your information or the documents. But aren't we also now talking about advertising fraud? Aren't you selling something to advertisers that's not really what they're getting? We know about this because of the newspaper issues. We're trying to say that journalism that basically has to meet a different standard, a public interest standard, that basically is out there basically proving every day, or they can be sued. These guys are a social media platform that doesn't have to live with that. And then the consequences, they're telling their advertisers that this was we see it. We see it. People are coming back to the local journalism because they're like, we want to be with a trusted brand. We don't want to be in, your website. So I think your finding for the
So just
SEC
think,
is an
social
interesting one,
media
but I think
isn't
that we
just
also have to look at what are the
fucking
other
up.
issues here. And one of them,
Your common day-to-day dialogue with each other, your common day-to-day community with each other, communication with each other, is fucking up even like actual businesses, actual entertainment sources, actual everything, the music industry, the multimedia spaces where journalists, like she said, don't want to be attached to these janky brands, these janky companies. And when the art form comes back and the craft come back, and it's not just the quick buck, then people really want to be attached to it because the integrity is there. Social media allows for the integrity to be misplaced in whatever it is that we're doing. We don't have to have integrity in anything. As long as you wear the right mask at the right time, send the right message at the right moment, say it the right way, it doesn't matter if what you stand on is that, or what you could, soon as those lights goes off, soon as the camera goes off, all of that is out the window. You know what I'm saying? So social media's done that. Social media has really pulled a blind eye to reality, which in actuality is what it's saying is doing. And that's what she's saying. False advertisement to the advertisement companies, to the subscribers, to the users, to everyone. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors here, and a lot of walls that are going to be torn down now that people are becoming aware, and the whistleblowers are not remaining silent anymore. They don't care about these bonuses. They don't care about monetary values. They want to see the society grow, and in order to do that, we have to put a halt to what we deem as
The other issues here, and one of them is, did they defraud advertisers in telling them this was the advertising content that you were going to be advertising in, when in reality it was something different. It was based on a different model.
We have multiple examples of question and answers for the advertising staff, the sales staff, where advertisers say after the riots last summer, were asked, should we come back to Facebook? Or after the insurrection, like, should we come back to Facebook? And Facebook said in their talking points that they gave to advertisers, we're doing everything in our power to make this safer, or we take down all the hate speech when we find it. But Facebook's own
And that was not true.
That was not true. They get 3 to 5% of hate speech.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh. Wait, what? They get what? 35% of, wow. So, at the end of the day, Facebook full of shit, Mark Zuckerberg, you're full of shit, and your likeness and your image is in question right now. Straight up, we see what you're doing. More people, more people see what you're doing. The people who don't want to see what you're doing has no choice but to see what you're doing. You know, you've thrived off of society's stupidity. You know, you've thrived off violence. You've thrived off the uncommon, the uncanny, the things that we don't normally see that are so obtainable now to all ages, bro. And you're not taking responsibility. Like, you have one of the most responsible jobs in America, in the world right now. You know, to regulate, to hold up with integrity and honor, and that's the last thing you've done is protect. You see? But I bet you protect yourself. I bet you don't interact on it. But we do. Our youth does. And everyone's being tested mentally. You're lying to advertisement. You're lying for the quick buck that you're getting. You're lying for our dollars that we're spending. And it's just time out for it. You know? As the mass public, I think we should all wake up and should all just, think about things that we're doing on a daily basis and what we're spending most of our time doing on a daily basis. Who it is that we're watching. Who it is that we're being influenced by, that we're actually following. You feel me? Time's out. And I want to thank Miss Haugen. And if I'm not mistaken, this was on Forbes. I'm going to put the link to the description down, the link in the description to this video down below so that y'all can check it out yourselves or go to the exact, page where it's at. But this is something to really look into and not just stop here. Just really dive deep, because downstream MSI is just one term that we learned today. It's a lot of different things that they're doing inside the corporation of Facebook and many other corporations that are detrimental to us, and we're not even educated on it. So we have to get proactive and just, stay aware, bro. Stay aware. Like, it's 2021. Like I always say, keep your mask on. Lysol, stay safe, stay out the way. Man, get somewhere, get your money, sit down, enjoy life, enjoy your freedom, bro. Enjoy your loved ones, because it's a lot going on and we got to stay cognizant of it. I'm going to keep you guys up to base and aware of the things that I am aware of. And until next time, we'll be back with another video, or back with a trending topic or some type of pressing issue in pop culture or society. And we just gonna, keep on rocking, bro. If you haven't subscribed to Life of Hefe, Antisocial Podcast, or The Underground, go do that. Like, share, comment, repost on all my platforms. I'm gonna have down in the description in the coming days. I'm gonna get better at this. It's gonna be more and more uploads. If you want double uploads, triple uploads, let me know down below in the comments. Let me know how I'm doing, if I'm talking too much, if I'm doing too much. Like, just give me the feedback, bro. But until next time, it's your host, Hardbody Hefe, and I'll see you guys later, bro. Peace.